Welcome to the Potluck Kitchen. I'm Berta Maginniss.
And I'm Fawn Montanye.
We are the potluck cooks for the holiday segment of Potluck Kitchen. You too can be a potluck cook. Here at GNAT, all you have to do is go online and fill out a form or call, make a request. They'd love to have you. If we can be potluck cooks, believe me, you can be potluck cooks. The Wilson House, I must tell you, is been sitting at the corner of Village Street and Mad Tom Road for 171 years. And 128 years ago, it was the birthplace of Bill W., who was the co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous. And he grew up in East Dorset. He went to Burr and Burton, so he always had local ties, and he and his wife, Lois, are buried in the East Dorset Cemetery. The Wilson House welcomes 10,000 people a year to pay respects to Bill W., who created the 12-step program movement, but also to come and be part of our community and attend seminars on weekends. So we're a very busy place, and we're a community asset, just as GNAT is a community asset. We are so lucky to have a public access station here like GNAT. It's terrific. I've been part of it since I came to Vermont in 2009. Never as a potluck cook before, but as many other things. I think Fawn has been part of it as well. We are community partners with the Chamber, with the Business Association. We've sponsored many things. So the Wilson House is an integral part of the community, and so is GNAT. So we're pleased to do this today, and we're going to present to you a holiday brunch that can be your Christmas breakfast, it can be your New Year's Eve supper, it can be all kinds of things. It's very easy. We're going to start with our refreshments to get you started when your guests come, and we're using a local product, toast, so you can have a toast from Toast, and Fawn is going to prepare that for you. So I'm going to throw it to Fawn.
Okay. Mocktails on Christmas morning, super, super easy and very tasty, not to mention festive in color and flavor. So we're just going to put a little bit of ice in some glasses here. And this comes up to be a pretty layered mocktail. And we're just going to put a splash of pomegranate juice at the bottom.
Ooh, that's looking good. Yummy.
Each drink. And then this is some fresh squeezed blood orange juice. I happen to get it at Mac's. I know that Dutton sells it. And we're just going to go about halfway there in each glass. And with a steady hand, this would even be a pretty layered drink. And then this toast, we're going with the rosé version. It's white tea, ginger, and elderberry. It's absolutely delicious. You hear that little pop?
Oh, I do.
And with a little fizz. We
have a toast.
Cheers.
Toast.
And thank you, GNAT, for all you do.
To Potluck Kitchen and 2024. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yummy.
You could get a little sprig of rosemary and float it in there too, or put it in a taller glass. So that's our
mocktail starters.
To go with the preparation.
Excellent. Okay, now we're going to start on the main event, which is two things. One is called an egg bake casserole, and the second is a baked French toast. Both casseroles. Both can be prepared well in advance of use. So we're going to start with the egg baked casserole first. So we have a baking dish that we need to butter with a little bit of good Cabot Vermont butter. And you'll find that I'm really a potluck cook because I measure very few things. So, but we're going to try and make this look like we're real cooks. I know you're used to watching somebody like Amy Chamberlain, who is a real cook in this kitchen. So we'll keep moving here. So you butter your casserole dish, and then it's very simple. You put together eggs. We want to crack some eggs. Fawn, you want to crack some too?
Are we going to do them in the bowl
Yeah,
or right in the dish?
No, we'll put them in the bowl. We'll put them in the bowl. We do a dozen eggs. Then we do eggs, cheese, bacon, and all mixed together, and you can use any kind of cheese that you want to. I use a little bit of goat cheese generally, so I soften it up. This is soft because we had it out. And I've used some Parmesan cheese, some mozzarella cheese. You can use Mexican cheese. You can use cheddar cheese, whatever works for you in the cheese category. And in the bottom of the pan, first you put some hash browns. So you really have all the things you need for a breakfast meal. You have potatoes, you have bacon, you have eggs, you have cheese. So it's a full meal before you even get it started.
Looks like you can make this the night ahead too, Berta.
Oh, you can. I always make this the night ahead. We serve this at the Wilson House for our seminars when we're doing weekends, and we have lots of people that have to eat breakfast by 8 o'clock in the morning. And so we have all this at the ready, and all you have to do is put it in the oven and bake it at 375 for about 45 minutes. So while Fawn is whisking, I'm going to crumble up some bacon and put in here, which is also, all this is done overnight. And the same thing when we get to the baked French toast, we do it overnight. You can have your kids get involved with this because you can see there's no skill in crumpling up bacon. So they can get part of the action.
You might have to make an extra pound if you let the kids.
Yeah, if you let the kids.
That's not a pretty sound that it makes, but I promise you they're getting whisked.
Okay, now we
We wanna
need a
put
little
some
milk
milk.
in that.
We're going to call it about a half
Half
a
a
cup.
cup,
A little
okay.
less than a cup.
I did bring a measuring cup so we could act like we were measuring.
It takes all the fun out of it.
Okay, we'll save the rest for on top.
And there you go.
Okay, we've got eggs. Let's put some cheese in first. This is good Cabot cheese that we're putting on top of the potatoes and the bacon. And this is at least a cup of cheese, maybe a little more than that. And I'm going to put a little of this goat cheese in as well.
Lisa Connors at North Meadow Farm makes some of the best cheese curds I've ever had, and she has plain and a variety of flavors. And a container of that in lieu of that shredded cheese
Yeah, would be
pretty,
good. Yeah.
Pretty good if you're in
Well,
town.
the thing about this is you can do anything with it.
It's
I
so
mean,
nice, yep.
you can do whatever works for your family or whatever you'd like to experiment with. It all works. Okay. All right. So then we will go ahead and put this over top. Oh, we have one that didn't get in there. I'll just pinch him.
Pinch 'em.
Work him in. Okay. So then we put a little more bacon on top. You can spell out your initial, you can spell out your name. I could get creative and do GNAT, but I'm not really that good with bacon yet, so we'll just make some crisscrosses here and make it look festive. Okay, and there,
Into the oven?
into the oven, we have the egg bake. How simple is that? So that's the first piece of our
This is a
meal.
350 preheated oven.
Right? Can stay in there for 45 minutes. It'll be nice and brown on the top. It'll have a little bit of a crust to it. And you just cut it up into squares and serve it. And people will love it. All right, now we will start on our, what we call baked French toast. So baked French toast has a few more moving parts. I have to melt a little bit of butter here, and then a little bit of brown sugar.
Sounds like a good start.
Now in the meantime, Fawn is going to tear up the challah bread, which you hate to even do because it's so pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah.
You want that right in the pan?
Yeah, yeah, you can put that right in the pan. And you can have your kids help with this because it's perfect for them. They can just tear things up, throw them in a bowl. You'll use them as you need to. So you melt this butter. Then we get a little bit of brown sugar into that. And probably more than a little bit, actually. It's about a cup of brown sugar. If you're doing a larger crowd, and you can scale this to feed 100 people. I mean, you just keep, you know, we do it in big pans at the Wilson
Hotel
House.
pans, yep.
Hotel pans, and you just keep moving it around. Yeah,
You can tell how yummy that's going to be to soak all that up.
yeah, it's going to be great. And we need eggs for that as well.
How many do you do? A dozen or a half dozen?
A dozen. Now I don't know if you can get this in the camera. It's just melting up the brown sugar and the butter together. Oh, there's a spoon. Well,
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere. And then a little bit of that whipping cream. I put a little bit of whipping cream in here. We're really making it like a caramel sauce almost.
Oh, it smells delicious
Yeah,
as it's
well.
melting down. Want just a
Yeah,
splash?
yeah, just a splash. That's good. Okay. And now we'll have a few of those pecans. Well, actually, we don't have to put them in there. We can sprinkle the pecans. There's 2 bags in there. That will be the last one on top. The other one. Yeah, this one. And we have some raisins somewhere. So we can just do this. So you just sprinkle the pecans in with the bread and the raisins. And then you put a little bit of cinnamon on top. And we'll wait for our sauce here, which is coming along. And then our eggs,
Which we're going to get right
which we're
to.
just getting right to. So we're going to, wait a minute, we'll put it all together when we get our eggs. So we've got our bread, we've got a buttered pan, we've got pecans, we've got raisins. We'll have eggs, again with a little bit of milk in them. And then we'll put the sauce right on top. And again, you'll pop it into the oven at 375 for 45 minutes. So all you have to do is entertain your guests for 45 minutes with your toast cocktails, throw it on the table, and you'll be ready to go. And again, it can be, you know, it can be the main event, or it can be part of a bigger holiday supper, where a bigger potluck, where people bring all sorts of things. It's a good way to do it.
I love that it can sit out. You know
Yep.
how we have those early dinners on the holidays and
Right.
everybody's eating at lunchtime? This is ideal at 5, 6 o'clock.
It is.
Home stretch.
Home stretch. And again, you can be a potluck cook. If we can be potluck cooks, you can be potluck cooks.
Everybody loves a potluck cook.
And the Potluck Kitchen is always open at GNAT. I think all you have to do is apply. And this toast is really good.
The toast is lovely, and I love that I can enjoy it with my kids.
Local product. Good for the Wilson house because we're all about sober living and
Great
sober
alternative.
events. Good time of year to think about sober events and making sure that everybody comes and goes in a very safe manner.
And even if it's not a sober event, there's so many different ways that you can stock a bar and
Oh,
make
right.
it
Oh,
like
absolutely.
welcoming to everybody. Just these
Right.
mix-in ingredients and having a bottle of toast like this. And I haven't had a drink of alcohol in 7 or 8 years, but I love, anything I don't have to put into a plastic cup is ideal with
Is
me.
great,
So
yeah.
it's nice. And you notice I didn't go with a champagne flute or anything. We just went with a regular old glass.
This is a Vermont champagne flute,
Yes,
isn't it?
I'll
A
take
mason
a-
jar, something like that.
Any
Just
day.
a good jar for Vermont.
And here's your eggs all mixed up.
Okay, now we're going to put it all together.
Okay.
Let's just dump it in here. Just try and get as much, because you're going to put this in the fridge overnight. So all this liquid is going to soak up into all this bread that we tore up. So we want to make sure we get all of it covered.
Nice and custardy.
Yeah. Yeah. And take,
Do it like Berta did.
Yeah,
Do it
yeah.
with love.
thank you. And then just kind of smush it down so all the bread will get some part of that liquid overnight. So when it comes out in the morning, you're ready to bake it. And then you pour over the
Oh my.
yummy stuff, which makes the
Need a batch of that all on its
yeah.
own.
Well, that's true. That's why we usually make a little more so we can lick the pan, but we won't do that here.
Make us use our manners.
Yeah. Okay.
All
And
right.
voila.
It's beautiful.
There it is, ready.
And this will also go into a
Right.
350 preheated oven.
375, preheated
370.
oven, 45 minutes, then you're all set. I'm going to let Fawn do our fruit dip, our cranberry and cream cheese and yummy stuff.
We're
all
going to stay
yours.
on theme. We're going to stay on theme, just like the drink was kind of a cranberry berry pink base. You'll see the finished product here. Looks nice and
Oh, delicious.
lovely, but you know I'm all organic, Berta, so we're not going to do the Cool Whip thing at all. We just can't do that. So this recipe is really, really easy, and it consists of 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, a half a container of full-fat triple cream vanilla yogurt, and 8 ounces of cranberry sauce. So it's really easy. We just go ahead and put our cream cheese in
Does
a
that
bowl.
have to be melted or softened a bit?
Softened is absolutely the way to go with this. It doesn't have to be completely room temp.
Yeah.
A lot of people, recipe-wise, will ask for sour cream or other things to kind of thicken this, and the yogurt takes care of that. So
Okay,
we
great.
find that if we just go ahead and whip this up and get it a little soft.
Okay.
And you see I love my Cuisinart just for this reason.
Just because it seizes up a little bit with the...
It
yeah.
does, but it'll come together.
Yeah.
And then again, there we go, if you want to hold that.
Yep.
We're going to do half a container of this yogurt. And again, North Meadow Farm and Lavender Hill have come together, and they're putting out a great variety of yogurt you can get right on the farm. I happen to live down in Wells, and we have Larson's Farm near us that's putting out a very similar product using their dairy. It's wonderful that we have so many options here in Vermont.
And probably at the farmer's market, a lot of options too.
Anything, yep, as long as it's the full fat Greek yogurt. And see how that comes
Yeah.
together?
Beautiful.
So just like a whipped cream, you would beat it, beat it, beat it. And that actually came together pretty quick without
Looks
the big
delicious. Yep.
mixer there. And it's important to take the time when you're making it at home, let it mix together, let it come all up. And then the fun part is in all the color. And you could, of course, purchase a can, a smaller can of cranberry sauce, but I went ahead and made some
Made
of this
some, of
this
course.
morning because that's
Fawn's
what
a real cook. She always makes it from scratch.
it makes a big difference. It does. And all this was this morning was cranberries, lime juice, a little bit of maple syrup, and some orange grated up in there. So you put all of it in there and you'll see that those whole berries kind of are still in there, so that makes it lovely. And then you get this beautiful
Pink color.
pink color for the holidays.
You can use this at Valentine's. We can
You
come
can
back
use
and
it.
do
The other day, my kids had me
Valentine's show.
make crepes, and they filled their crepes with it in the morning. And you can see this one came out even more rich
beautiful.
than the other one. And there's
And there
a
you
holiday
have it.
treat. You don't have to feel too bad about serving. But if you want to doctor it up, cranberry curd has become like the latest fad. So I went
It's
ahead
yeah,
and
it's
made
great.
this. And all cranberry curd is reduced cranberries with some egg yolks and butter. So of course you could take some of that and plop it right in the middle of your dip to add some richness and color for when you're spreading your holiday cheer.
And there you have
And
it.
there you go. And you don't
That's-
have to feel too terrible about indulging in that. So again,
The holiday brunch
the holiday brunch.
on the Potluck Kitchen
With
from
the
the
Wilson
Potluck
House.
Cooks from the Wilson House.